This is a 15-minute game, which gives me more time to think and to speak. Sort of the luxury of being able to speak. Let's try Trompovsky. I've really never played the Trompovsky before, or at least never with the intention of taking on f6 to mess up the pawns. But that's actually what I'm thinking of maybe doing here. Perhaps. I mean, I see. Okay, so he's lashing out at the center. Obviously, I can't hold that pawn, particularly because if I take, right, I'm just going to play in a sort of a way that seems principled to me, but maybe it's a bit boring. I don't know. Just to play e3, I guess, and knight f3, and just normal moves, with the idea of putting my central pawns dark squares. Now my dark square bishop's gone. Bring my light square bishop out, and see what my opponent does. I can't speak too far in advance. Oh, interesting actually, maybe I should have been aware of this before, but obviously now if I take on c5, then I've isolated one of his pawns. No wonder. All the same, I don't think I should really take. I think that just helps him develop. And although not quite vulnerable, his pawn will still be vulnerable. It'll still be isolated, even if we're good at trade on d4. Now, one thing I've had happen to me before, which getting ahead of myself here, but sometimes f7 can be quite weak in this sort of setup, especially for bishop ends on c4, queen h5, and yeah, obviously that hits f7. Okay, so he's threatening b2. That's the only thing he's threatening as far as I can see. So I've kind of got a choice of either queen c1 or b3. I think. Yeah. Very interesting. If I play king c1, then takes on t4 and he wins that pawn. So that's not quite so wonderful. I'm not hugely sold on b3 either, but I guess I will play it. I just don't like the way it's sort of opening up some dark squares around this side. Obviously, I don't have a dark square bishop anymore. He does. I prefer it when it comes to c3 because it's protected. But I think this is sort of what I had to do. And what else to say really? Just see if I can find time for the moves that I want to play. Knight f3, bishop d3. Okay, so what do I think about queen takes? Is there any reason to go queen takes? Queen takes, he can just bring his bishop out actually to c5. I think it's more principled to just bring the pawn out immediately. Even if he is almost ahead of, he's sort of caught up with a lot of development now. Obviously he's got this isolated pawn and this structural weakness here. But he's got the bishop pair and his development's reasonable. I've got maybe some weaknesses here. It's a long time since I've played a time control longer than 5 minutes per player actually. Against an evenly matched opponent anyway. I've played some games that have no time control just against some other people. which can be fun, but a little bit different. Okay, so now he's got pressure on. I think it just makes sense to increase defense of d4. I was also thinking of c3. Maybe I should have been thinking of d5. Come to think of it. d5. Still not sure. If it was white to play now, would I want to play d5? I mean, he'd play knight d5. It would be interesting. I'm not sure I'd want to take on e5 with my knight. Maybe d5 would be quite nice, just because then I can follow up with c4 and I've got this. Oh well, enough of that speculation. So now I've got to think about whether I want to play bishop d3 or bishop e2. I think probably bishop e2. I don't know. I'm just looking now. I mean, it's the things I'm thinking about: him playing bishop g4 or him playing bishop f5 and then getting pressure on c2 after something like knight b4. I could play a move like c3 and then sort of contest his bishop whichever way it goes. Do I want to play c3? That's the other question. I guess I will play c3. A little bit unsure about it. I mean, it's the move I kept looking at, and it covers b4, so he's not going to play knight b4 now. Increases defense of d4, and I can decide where to put my bishop with a bit more information. I mean, he's going to develop this light square, but dark square bishop probably now to d6, I would imagine. And then, yeah, I mean, knight b4 was annoying for a couple of reasons. Firstly, pressure on c2, but secondly, it would hit my bishop, so bishop d3 looks like the more natural move. So even then, I don't know, am I going to play h3? It's just getting behind in development. I don't actually think it's that important to have a bishop on d3 right now as compared to e2. I think I'll just play it a little safer and castle quicker. I think h3 would just be losing a bit too much time. So he's probably going to castle or play bishop f5. Yeah, so I think I just castle here and then think about my next moves. I mean, my next moves are almost automatic. I think knight bd2 and rook e1 stand out, especially knight bd2. Getting ready to play c4 maybe. That'd be interesting, perhaps. Yes, okay. So what about h3 here? Is that what I want to do? It's not entirely clear to me. I think I'll just develop for now. Look at the pros and cons of h3. Well, I can think about that now. He might get. The other thing about this is, I don't know, h2 can sometimes be weak with this dark square diagonal that he's got going on here. Okay, so I I don't see why I wouldn't just play this normal move. It reduces control of f2, but I really don't think that's important in this position. But I am starting to run out of automatic moves now, so I'm going to have to start looking at I mean, what have I got in this position? I'd like to be able to... Maybe I've got knight f1 to e3, which would attack this this pawn on d5. Oh, and I did this because if I'm going to move the knight, then he would have takes check. So I don't want that if I am looking at a knight move, which I think I'm pretty sure I do want this knight coming to e3. Actually, it looks very natural. Particularly even if he plays like bishop f5 here, then that would make it even more potentially useful. I don't know where else this knight's going to go, and I'm a bit unsure about playing c4 and exposing my center too quickly. So let's just play some. Yeah, let's just play some normal moves. So we're going to come knight to e3 and get some pressure on this. I don't know. He might start pushing this pawn. That would be. I think that would be a fairly interesting approach for him to take, because he would then contest the e3 square. And this pawn, obviously, if you can trade it off, or if you can just get some use out of it, that would be an advantage for his position. He's getting a little bit low on time, actually. Just something to be aware of. So yeah, I'm still thinking knight e3. What else is there? I don't really want to look at moving the bishop yet. I don't really have a good reason to, actually, but especially because I want to be able to recapture on e1 if a trade happens with the rook rather than the queen. I'm sort of rambling a bit. What would I do as black here? As black here, I would be interested in switching my queen and bishop around somehow, although that would be a bit slower. It would get a lot of pressure down on the white king side. I don't know what he's going to do with his knight. That's the one of the big questions. Is he going to try and rush a kingside attack here? Okay, so yeah, he's going to try and do something with his knight. Maybe bring it to f4. That looks quite... Alright, now if I play here, then he's got a threat on c3. And if I play rook c1, he has bishop f4. So that's a little bit interesting. I wonder, is now the time to play c4? Is that interesting? I don't think he'd get pressure against my... Well, no, I can't really play c4 because he played pawn takes, I play pawn takes, he plays bishop takes, I play bishop takes, I lose one of my pawns. But if I play rook c1, he's got bishop f5, and then I've got like rook c2, and if he played bishop g6, then would I be able to play bishop t? It's a little bit awkward. More than a little bit awkward. Okay, let's look at this again. So knight e3, queen takes c3, knight takes d5. I don't know, where does my knight go after d5? Is that important? Yeah, I just thought I'd be worrying so much about this pawn. I mean, now I'm just thinking of like queen d2, bishop, knight e3, But if takes, I don't know if pawn takes would leave me just a bit too weak and backward on these squares. So troublesome chess. How can you have this pressure? Why am I losing so much time? There's a different move. I'm looking at bishop b5 now, but actually I don't think that's very good. Right, I think I'm just going to have to play this. It's just the only move that looks normal. I may end up in quite an awkward position as a result of it though, just if this bishop f4, knight e3, well no, not knight e3, rook c2, bishop g6, and then bishop here, and then like takes, rook takes, knight takes. Oh, it's just, well, you got to do what you got to do. I don't want to lose c3. Maybe I should be looking at playing knight h4 in a second. Just trade off this light square bishop, and yeah, I mean he couldn't avoid the trade. So if he gives me a free move here, maybe even if he plays a move like knight e6, then I may play knight h4, trade off light square bishops. Not that I'm keen on his knight coming to f4, which it kind of would in that one, but okay, so do I have anything more promising? I do want to get rid of this light square bishop. My position's been too tied down with all of this stuff. Too tied down by far. Often in this kind of position you'd get rid of that bishop by knight g3, but having played h3 that's not really an option here. So if he plays bishop takes, I think it's pretty normal for me to play rook takes. Is there an advantage of queen takes? Is there any advantage? I don't really think there is. Well, at least I'm still ahead on time. We've both been burning a lot of time considering this is still pretty early middle game. Yeah, okay, so I could have pre-moved that. And now I may have to, it may go something like knight f4, rook takes, and then knight back to f3. It's a bit of a shame to give him that. Okay, so I didn't go like that. Okay. So what about, yeah, I think I'll get some pressure of my own now on d5. So obviously I'm threatening here. Possibly in some lines I'll even be coming to f6 with knight g4. Because it is a... Okay, that's interesting. Because he's threatening my rook, obviously. What about if I play rook c2 and follow up with c4? Is that interesting? I think it might be. I'm going to try that. Get some active play going. I don't know what to say about his knight. It's bothering me, obviously. But I would hope that sacrifices aren't working yet. I'm not pretty sure they can't be working yet. Okay, so takes, like that. I think, I mean, I'm either looking at, okay, what if I play knight here? How's he defending? Probably just fairly straightforward. King g7. So I've got a choice of knight f3, which looks normal, or an immediate c4, or of not really of g3. Okay, this just feels correct to me. Let's just get some immediate pressure. Yeah. Okay. So obviously I've isolated a pawn of my own, but I just tend to think that this must be worth something. Now if I play takes here, then where is his bishop going? Or is he going to have to give up the bishop? Because I'll have a discovery on his queen. Yeah, let's play this. So the thing about this is it also covers bishop a3. And it threatens discoveries. I'm not sure I've actually got any great discoveries, unfortunately. You would think that two rooks lined up against a queen would inevitably yield a good discovery, but I'm not so sure about that. Okay, so now I can take and get some immediate pressure, I think. Do I want to take? Have I got anything else to play? I think it's a fairly normal move to do this. And then I can get my oh, I've got to be a little bit careful of knight e2 actually. What's up with that? That's unpleasant. I don't want that to happen. And knight and king f1, he's got queen a6. That's not great either. Well, he hasn't got knight e2 yet, but it may come. I'll just bring my knight back into play first. And time is getting short, so the commentary may also need to start getting a bit short. What's he doing there? Does that actually have an idea to it? I think I want to... I was going to play queen d2, but then he really does have to check. It's unfortunate. Check. What about if I just play here? Maybe then the check isn't even immediately important. I mean, check, I move the king. So what? You can't take here because I'll take there. Ah, yeah. Okay. We're just getting down to a blitz game, unfortunately. I think queen d2 is going to follow shortly. And at least now I haven't got any big issues with his knight coming to e2, other than being distinctly unhappy about it. He might be ready to sack at some point. Probably not. Okay. So what's that doing? Can I pin? Can I get some sort of pressure? Where's this knight coming to? Okay, let's start bringing my queen into the game a bit. And obviously I'm pressuring d5 now. He is covering c7. That's one thing he's doing. I imagine he'll play something like rook ed8 now. No. Okay. Well, I think he just meant that because that's just a piece. Now I just need to make sure I don't do anything really stupid. This is a sufficiently solid position. What should I do? Something like rook b8, I guess. After which, yeah, rook b8. But I think I can just block like that, and I think that's okay. And I mean, my knight isn't the greatest piece, is it? But how to play this? Well, I can just take and then play rook c1. That's fine, isn't it? Just need to be a little bit cautious, but everything's okay for me. Yeah, but I'm gonna centralize. Not gonna take chances. Maybe follow up with queen e3. Just gotta keep some. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna play queen e3 anyway. It's a pawns. It's only real counterplay now, I would say. But how do I find a use for my knight? Is my knight going to come to d3? Oh, interesting. Interesting. He's found something. Yes, found something. Okay. That is a big pain. Yeah, this is a problem. I need to worry about time, really, rather than anything else right now. I'm threatening to take on f2 now, so he can't just hang around. But I need to find a use for this knight of mine. Okay, so that's fine. Is he going to play a check? Play a check. I'll just block. Yeah, I'll just block. I don't think he can afford to take because oh, okay. Alright, I need to get my king into the action. It's Alright. Get ready with knight e3, forces king back. That seems like a good approach. Just keep pressing forwards. Take some ground. Ready to come to e5 or f6. Check. I don't entirely know how to... I guess I should just try and push my pawn. My pawn must be quicker than his. It's well supported. So now I'm just going to take his pawn. Yeah, I've just got more time than you. That won't work. Alright, and now I think I can just afford to get ready to push to promote, obviously. Okay, so well, that was quite interesting, I guess. It started off being quite strategic, but then devolved into a bit of a time scramble in which I got a piece ahead. I guess that was a pretty dull way to win in some sense, in terms of just picking up a piece that he didn't defend. And then I was pretty clumsy with my short time. So let's just glance through at what the computer thinks. So the computer's presumably it thought g takes was better than then. Yeah, it thought g takes. And here it's not convinced of White's approach at all. It thinks he should sacrifice a pawn with knight c3. Interesting. And then what? Knight d5. Honestly, really? That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, and what about, I mean, it thinks queen a3, but that's not any better. What if he plays knight e6? Oh, then I just take, okay, so that's an interesting way to play then. Instead I played that cowardly human move. c3, what did it think here? Bishop d3. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to play bishop d3 because if it takes, you've always got your discover check picking up the queen tactic. Something I have to remember. But in summary, it still seems to think black's quite good, which isn't surprising really. I did think I was under quite a lot of pressure here. Knight, yeah, so it likes knight f1 as an idea. I guess I'll have to remember that in the future rather than immediately. But then again, knight f1 takes. Oh yeah, because at the moment my knight on f1's covering h2 as well. But that's not what I did. I followed this approach. Did I need to play rook c1? Yeah, rook c1. Okay, what about the line that I was wondering about with bishop a8, knight 3d2, knight 3. Oh, so you're thinking. Alright, that's an interesting way to resolve issues. Because I was looking at the other knight, I think. Wasn't I? No, I wasn't even looking at that. I was looking at rook c2. And then I was thinking that. And then I was thinking bishop d3. And I was thinking take. Okay, white has a checkmate here. That's embarrassing. Anyway, so I resolved that. Yeah, so it did think c4 was correct here. And yeah, it did think rook c2 was correct here, so that's pleasing. Then it wasn't convinced with knight takes. I guess that's not so surprising. I had an active knight, and well, no, it was an okay move. The evaluation pretty much stayed the same. Maybe it was planning to take anyway in a different line. So here it's saying king h2. That's to deal with the knight e2 threat if I move the c2 rook away. I don't know, my king. I guess that's okay, isn't it? Because if there's a check, you can always just play g3. I just kind of ruled out king h2. It just looked like it put me on a diagonal where I might get checked. And here I gave up the a2 pawn for no good reason. So that's a little bit embarrassing. I should have. Well, or king h1. Why didn't I think about king h1? Yeah, forget it thinks king h2, but I think king h1. It briefly thought king h1. But now we were just down to a few minutes each, so all of our thoughts were a bit wasted. Well, they got us to this position. Let's just say that. Still thinks black's better because he's up a pawn, but I suspect the evaluation will change with this move. Here it thought that the move should be queen e4, with the idea that if rook takes, then queen takes. So that'll be an interesting counter-attack approach, or it thinks rook d8 is okay as well. I don't think it thinks that's okay. No. So I'll probably rush through the rest of this a bit because it'll be a bit less informative I mean, my moves are pretty random. So d5, yeah, d5 would have been maybe interesting. d5, and if he plays here, then just queen c5. That's very nice. Nice direct play. Instead, I was immediately sort of panicking or whatever, and I missed queen a2 again. Something about that a2 square. And then here he's got rook e2. So what if I do queen e1 and then he does rook e2? What then? Queen f1. Yeah, it all got a bit backward. We got too much play. So now, well, at least I never blew my advantage. And this endgame, yeah, I don't think there's any point analysing that. It should just be an easy win. Easy win for white.